nothing's collapsing. So what I'm going to do is head over to the computer here and give the link out. Alright, for those tuning in, I am doing page 55 today in my comic. Let's see, page videos, video live. Here we go, copy. Put this up here. There we go. And that is out. So I will come back over and we can get started working today. Gotta get myself situated. Forgot how awkward it is, though. Okay, never mind. This is going to collapse, so I need to tighten this up. Please stay. Alright. Okay. Hopefully that stays good. Alright. Well, we are doing page 55 of the 14th Dreamscape comic of Heroes and Legends. Yeah, gotta do the words as I work. Who probably be better if I stand for this part. Who is the best? Yeah, it'll probably have less words. It'll definitely have less words as we get into the fighting part of the final match, but with the announcer and the build-up to the match itself, there is quite a bit of talking compared to the actual action part of it. But for these matches, but once we get past all the talking, it should get to the action bits quite a bit. Best for these matches. These matches has yet to be determined. Matches as yet as yet yeah, I'm trying to write as fast as possible while also keeping it as neat of handwriting as I can. I talk more, but if I talk, I will forget what they are saying, so can't quite do that anymore like I used to. Yet to be determined. Ow. And I just realized... Oh. Just realized I need to get shading done before I get to the actual words. Getting a bit ahead of myself there. I am going to move my food over to underneath this. So let's shade in. Oh, if I have my food there, all the eraser stuff is going to fall into it. So let's move that off to the side here. And erase out some of the Claw's scarf to get it so that I can shade properly. If I smudge in the scribble along the scarf that was there, it would be a lot harder to get rid of when I need to make things cleaner. There we go. Alright. This is where the little band of the hat will be. Okay. Doko doesn't require as much shading because he has like the black clothing on. Take another bite. It probably doesn't really matter if I get too much like graphite pencil eraser shavings onto my food, because I'm sure I have ingested enough art supplies over the decades. It eventually happens if you create stuff. Yeah. And there's the claw. Yeah, he's pretty much a little, just a hat and a scarf and a black outfit with a little line of skin and eyes that can be seen between them. Get some shading on the wall of the stands back here to pop it out from the floor, the arena floor that they're standing on. Yeah, because if you leave everything white, it gets harder for the eye to differentiate between what is and isn't certain objects. Now, I believe I have all of the Japanese Beast Wars series on my computer now. I have even started to have everything. I've even like started to download episodes of the Kiss Players, which is not the most sanitary of Transformers material, but it is part of the Japanese faction of the franchise, so might as well archive it. I had forgotten, like, in Armada, how annoying they made, like, Billy and Fred. They are not nearly that bad in Micron Legend, the Japanese version of Armada. They're still the weakest human characters, but they're a lot more like normal people there instead of just constantly whining 24/7. Yeah, I used to watch Transformers Armada when it was on Cartoon Network, but after you see Micron Legend, it's kind of hard to go back to the English version of the show. Oh, hey, Dumbo, how are you doing? And if Handgun's here still, hello to you too. I'm just working on page 55 here of the comic. Don't know why I'm like actually penciling in the lines there. I'm not at that part yet. Oh, Handgun, just for future reference, if I'm ever talking about Dragon Ball on the Discord, just take that as me meaning Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. I sort of count them as one thing when I talk about them, because in the comic, there was no Z. It was just Dragon Ball from, like, Pilaf to Boo. So, that's just how my mind always goes through it. And I do apologize for the atrocious Earthworm Jim 2 stream yesterday. The puppy love was really kicking my ass there. And I did a very embarrassing performance against Psychro in that final level. But it's probably a good thing for YouTube. One person's suffering is another's enjoyment on this website. The masses love their aggravation. That's why things like Super Meat Boy and I Want to Be the Guy were so popular. Yeah, I've gotten done the Earthworm Jim duology now, so it was kinda. I tried getting the Saturn version running last night, and I did get it working, but it's like it's all kinda. It has no music, and then the controller messed up, so I can't even really play the Saturn games I have on the computer now. So I got Resident Evil, but it kind of just Chris just sits there, and I can't he won't do anything. But at least I have it for if I ever get it all figured out on that one. Oh, that character up there is supposed to be Shadow the cartoonist's character, Lil Shadow. He made an appearance, I think page 27 of last comic. It showed this whole part of the audience, but I didn't know where I was going to put the words of what the announcer's saying originally. And so all of these characters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, get covered up because his word bubble covers like everything on this part of the page. But of the page 27 characters from the previous comic, you can see Shadow the cartoonist's Little Shadow, and this sort of robot guy thing here. And the others are just new designs I had to do because those characters couldn't be seen on the page 27 of the last comic. Oh yeah, the aggravated gamer situation is something that people will always be attracted to on YouTube, Dumbo. It is tradition at this point. You gotta have a sort of rage game. Yeah, the angry video game nerd is pretty much based around that. The only downside to doing these streams like live, like this, is I can't really play music in the background for you guys. You kind of just gotta sit in silence while I talk and work. I do remember you doing, you were doing Resident Evil 7 about a year ago, I think, Dumbo. I saw one of those videos. Because I remember talking, like, in the chat in it at one point. There was one other person there, I think. Yeah, Handgun here was playing the remake of 4 quite a bit when it came out. Sorry, I am eating something as I work here. Yeah. Yeah, you pretty much got through everything that game had to offer, Handgun. Yeah, it's always nice to have people interacting with you while you do things on YouTube. I'm trying to... I remember seeing something about Sadler on Project Umbrella for, like, the new version of 4, but I can't remember what it is right now. There was someone on there that was trying to, like, make a concept idea for what he looked like underneath his robe, since he's, like, less human in the remake. Yeah, you could see the ribs of his chest sort of coming more to the surface as sort of teeth around the heart area. And the heart itself was like sort of pumping with the black liquid that they use for the plaga stuff. Although I'm not sure what the black liquid exactly is. It's something that was... I think it's working off of like the beta material where the plaga would sometimes emit gas, like black gas, from the wound areas when you kill them in the betas of 4. And there is black liquid that like flows across Leon's veins in that sequence in 4, the original version of 4, where he's like infected and starts having a hallucination and then wakes up on the cabin floor before Del Lago. But that's about it as far as the black liquid in the like original release of 4. Yeah, they've never really done like a whole properly put together facility for BOWs in that series, I don't think. Like, the closest you get is the Caucasus facility in Umbrella Chronicles, since that's like the base of Umbrella's military leader and everything, and they have all sorts of BOWs they were selling from there, but I'd imagine that, like, a properly organized facility for, like, war for the BOW stuff would be more like a space pirate facility in Metroid Prime, where there's just, like, capsule upon capsule of tyrants around every corner that can just break out at a moment's notice if anything goes wrong. Just a horrific type of sense of dread to a setting that you'd have to, like, sneak through and everything. I don't know with that series, though, if they'll ever present that type of situation with how the games are marketed more as a quote-unquote horror experience. Really, it's science fiction, but they try to maintain the horror. Down, down, boom, boom, yeah, saving your game is usually a pretty easy way for creators, the, like, people making the games, to add in more difficulty for the ranking. Like, yeah, you made it through the game, but you needed some help. And that's sort of, I think, the mentality behind when the people making games put in that as sort of a factor for if you get a better or worse score. It's nice to have the rewards for the people that, like, really give it their all to complete the game, but at the same time, if you do that, it's sort of a up and down situation, because it's like, yeah, you got that, but you also got people that are going to try to do that and never get to that point because they either don't have it in them or they get too frustrated at trying to do it and just give up. And then it becomes more of a situation of, well, is this game really this good if you have to do this to get this? And it's all about the individual's preference at that point. For me, all I ever care about is just, well, I beat the game. I could do this special unlockable thing if I really want to, but generally I don't, because it ends up not being all that fun to do. I'd rather just relax and have a good time. My brother's the one that's the completionist of me and him. I'm just the guy that goes with the flow. Although he needed me to help him when he was younger beat that Donkey Kong 64 Beetle race. I have the I think it's Frostman from Mega Man 8, and I've got his theme stuck in my head right now. Yeah, da 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 ba ba da dum ba ba. Ba da 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 ba da 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 ba ba do bo bo do do. Da 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 ba da 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 ba da do ba ba da do do do. Dr. Wiley. And some of the specifications for getting unlockable stuff are just not worth it to me sometimes. Like, Sonic Adventure 2, I love that game. It is arguably my favorite Sonic game ever, but getting everything in that game, all the unlockables, Green Hill, the costumes, that can all go to hell. Other than like Knuckles' outfit and Eggman's outfit, I never unlocked anything in that game because it's just too hard to do everything for me. I don't need that. I beat the game. I had my adventure. But the challenge is always there for if you ever get bored enough. Well, you would be the one to know that, Handgun. We have a few Resident Evil people on the Discord now, but you are by far the most frequently posting on there. I am going to take a bite of my sandwich thing. Well, you've apparently got enough of a life to have a semi-job. Cleaning that lagoon thing earlier. Yeah. All right, there's a tree back here. I always have to remember that on the other side of the tournament arena, where like the lip of the building and this part ways, and you can see what's behind it. The other side has like this building that the function of the building that's back there is there's like, imagine that square is the tournament area. There's a bigger square around it that's like the walls around everything in the tournament grounds. And to the right, between the arena square and the outer square, is this building at the end of the right. And that building is where everyone goes into, and it attaches into the right side of the stands. And that's how they all walk up into the stand. Yeah, I've got some concepts. I don't really have the like map of the tournament grounds drawn out. I have it in my head, but it's like actually I probably have the page where you get the best look at it. If just a second. Let's see here. Yeah, I've got all the pages I've worked on over here. So, let me see. Okay, there, that's the blood brush guy. That's Tesley. Here it is. Yeah. Whoop. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Here's the best look you can get at it. This is what I was talking about. The stands around the arena. That's like the stands over here. There's the building back there that the tournament fighters come out of. And over along the right side here, behind these stands, that building there is what you sometimes see when the camera's pointing at an angle there. That's the building that everyone goes into to, like, get into this part of the building the tournament, like, competitors come out of. And there's a little door in the stand area along, like, the wall of it, like, right there. Just imagine. You can't see it because there's all these people in the way when I've edited in them on the computer, like, do all the black silhouettes of them and stuff. But yeah, that should give you sort of an idea of how the layout is for that. Yeah. And then there's the King's Shadow statue looming over everything. Gotta respect the tournament creator. And I was going over in my head last night how one of the adventures the freaks have against King Shadow back in the early 2000s, it'd be. How that would go. It's like his space station Nebula Light is going to crash into Earth because of something that happens, and he's making his getaway, and Barbot is trying to stay behind and have the other freaks get out of there while he tries to break apart the insides of the station enough so that it, like, the pieces of the station break off in the atmosphere as it plummets towards the planet, so that it isn't just all one giant ball, and cause less destruction. Hopefully the pieces burn up in the atmosphere as they come apart. The governments of the world are all, like, launching their missiles at it and stuff as it's approaching. The defense systems are mostly blowing the missiles up and making them ineffective as it gets closer to the planet. But yeah, what I was saying is the way I remember what's over on this side is I remember that the building is on that side. And then I remember, oh, yeah, there's the tree over here. And I need to find a paper clip. Here it is. The paper clip. The way to make sure that your pages do not fall over. Although I should probably clip it to more than just one page. What size of paper do I use? Well, let me see. It's 9 by 12 inches, it says, or 22 9 by 35 centimeters. Yep. It's a bit bigger than normal, like, where's a sheet? Trying to find printer paper to compare it to. Here. Yeah, this is like the size of... If I have it up at the top of the page, you can see at the bottom what's left of the size difference. Yeah. That should give you an idea. Yeah, different countries value different systems at different levels. I forget what each system is, but I just go by, well, that's what, I go by inches, and then if I can't, I go by what my computer tells me when I put it into a conversion thing. Yeah, yeah, up here, I remember Lil Shadow was there, and then next to him was Skull Kid 3 on page 27 of the previous comic. Skull Kid 3 was an old friend of mine that did these Let's Plays back in like 2010 or 2011. It's always sad when they leave, but everyone goes off to their own lives and has their own ideas of what to do. I at least have all of his videos saved, so they're not in danger. He got pretty popular for a bit because of his Endless Ocean Let's Plays for the Wii. I think that was the most popular thing they ever did. I saw them on their very first video. Well, it wasn't their first video, but it was like the first public video they had or left up. It's their first Let's Play they ever tried, and I was there day one. Saw them play Lost Winds, a WiiWare game that I don't think you can get anymore, which is always the problem with those digital-only titles. So many games lost to the ether. They used to stream on Twitch every so often, making a game in this one program. It was sort of a point-and-click game. Never got released or anything, but it was nice participating and seeing how it was going and stuff. Yeah, YouTube has come quite a ways with its finally getting the streaming stuff going along here, and now you got all the VTubers, Iron Mouse, Gura, all that stuff. Oh, and Handgun. Do not worry. He is here. Just right here down in the corner. Yeah, and that anniversary Dragon Ball movie they made back when GT was around, Handgun, your favorite character is in that movie. They do have General Blue. It's basically a combination of how they find some of the Dragon Balls in the original first saga, and then the Red Ribbon Army saga gets mixed into it. It's basically what the movie is. Except the artwork doesn't look as good to me because it's later artwork. Yeah, some Gashapon are better than others. I do have a Vegeta one, but he's not a character I really like go head over heels for. So it's like, okay, I got him, I guess, and he can go here. But yeah, I have one or two Vegetas here. I think the one I'm thinking of is a Super Saiyan Gashapon of him. It might be a Majin Vegeta, actually. It is from the Buu saga. Why am I doing the lines? I'm supposed to be shading. You know, the best that Vegeta ever was to me, well, I say it in my Dragon Ball review, is on Namek. After he, like, comes to Earth and randomly gets together with Bulma, it's like he just becomes Gur Kakarot, the character. Well, from what I've seen, the Resident Evil 3 remake is a fun time. So, if you stream that, I'm sure you'll enjoy it at least. Oh. Why am I'm not supposed to be drawing the lines. I'm supposed to be focusing on shading. Okay, so that is the claw. That's Doko's hair. That would be the stands. Okay. Well, if you, I technically could show you guys what well, I can't show you everything that I got at Dragon Ball, because some of it's in boxes, some of it's all over, like in closets and stuff. It's not a giant amount, but it'd be like a hassle to get everything out. I've got up to Piccolo Jr. in the Kanzen bonds that I have. And then a few from the Saiyan Saga, a few from Namek, and one from the tournament before Buu. That's what I've got for the... I'm doing it again. I'm going back to drawing. I'm not supposed to do that. I do know where a box of Gashapon that I have is, though. Just a sec. Sorry it took a bit to get back here. Was not able to find that box of the Gashapon. But I was able to find some other things, which, some were in the closet. Here's a, Gaz from Zim. I think that's from the episode Gaz Taster of Pork. Here's the Vegeta Gashapon I was talking about. It's a Boo Saga. Not a Majin one, but it is his outfit from the Boo Saga. Then here's Zim in one of his garbage human disguises. I never quite understood why he did this when he was already had a human or quote unquote a human disguise. As far as he was concerned, that seemed to be a good enough disguise for him. Then here is... Uh-oh. The arm came off in the box. This is not a Gashapon. It's a, what is this figure? It's a, Dragon Ball styling series. It's based off of... I think it's based off of artwork that Toriyama did for the Red Ribbon Army saga. The Bulma. And then you got one of my favorites, which is this little Amazing Arts diorama. Just Bulma and the motorcycle she and Goku ride on in the first saga at the start. That's one of my favorites. Sorry, my hand shakes. It's something that's always a problem, but yeah, it's not too bad once I get it. Oh, there it goes again. Yeah, when I'm concentrating, I can get it to stop, but it's not too much of an issue when I draw. But yeah, those are the things that were in my closet. Oh, and here's a Piccolo Daimyo figure that my dad got for me. It's him coughing up one of his eggs that his offspring come out of. The Demon King. I thought you were a demon. No, giant slug person. Oh, that's incredibly underwhelming. Yeah, the retroactive continuity. So let's get back to some comic making here. Got the claw. Back here would be the stance, so need to shade some of that. Okay. Put the pencil down so I don't accidentally draw on there. Yeah, I always like getting a good Dragon Ball figure. Toriyama's done so many cool, like, illustrations of them over the years, so whenever they make figures of those illustrations, I always get a bit happy and want to get them. There are some illustrations that aren't the best to me, but a lot of his earlier illustrations are quite nice. It's just too bad that America never values its figures and toys as much as Japan does. America is a very boring country to me a lot of times. It's not nearly as creative as a lot of others, or it doesn't allow the creativity to flow as well as others do. It's very stifled and pristine, cookie cutter ish. It was like Gravity Falls and Amphibia and all that. That should just be normal everyday stuff. But because of how things are done usually in the industry over here, that stuff is just looked upon as incredible, which it is, but like as an incredible exception whenever it's done instead of like what should just be happening normally. Yeah. Peanut butter. Peanut butter and banana. Well, now that I am done with the Earthworm Jim games, because there is no Earthworm Jim game after the second video game in that series, I'm not quite sure what I will move on to next video game-wise. If I will even do much of anything video game-wise. I used to do Let's Plays every so often when I was, like, younger. That was, like, back around 2011 was probably 2011 or 12 feels like it'd be around the last time I really did a Let's Play. Well, before the gym videos I just did. I wish I could understand Japanese. I see enough Japanese videos, but it's like I always have to have subtitles because I don't naturally understand the language. That's the stands up there. I'll probably just do the people in that stand in silhouette when I edit it on the computer. And doing streams every single day is fun, but it can be a bit exhausting after a while. It's like it sort of becomes your life. The Earthworm Jim stream I did yesterday was just sort of out of nowhere. I got up and was like, you know what? I streamed Jim, and I should be working on things, but I need to stream the second game now. So I just got to work doing that yesterday. It did take longer than the first game, but that's only because I kept messing up constantly at Psychro at the end. There we go. I'd forgotten that I was going to draw his eyes closed there. Yeah, he's just a pair of eyes between a scarf and a hat. Obviously, there's more to him, but we haven't seen what's under it yet, and I'm drawing again. I need to shade. So let's move on down. Actually, instead of that, I am going to move this all up so I can work better on the bottom part. Maybe this will let you see all the figures towards the bottom. There. Is that good? Yeah, that's good. Okay. Now. Well, there goes them. Yeah. Come on. Nope. Hopefully that stays up. If not, it'll all collapse and we'll just break the stream probably. Oh, you've got a story going on, Dumbo? What is that about? Ow. Alright. Let's get the announcer here. Shade him up. Shading, shading, shading. Yeah, the one good thing about doing this on stream is it does not allow me to get distracted by all the other stuff around here that'll take my attention away from working. Hello, Daniel. How are you doing? We're just here making more of the comic. How goes the English side of things today? Are the dogs doing okay? Oh, well, that sounds fun. Is this a story that you are publishing, Dumbo, or is it one that you are working on? You got the King Shadow statue back here. And King Shadow's body, or lack of a body, is always presented as a completely black shadow. But since it's a statue of him, it's just the same color as like the stone that they use for this section of the building. It's like a light yellow brown. Oh, that's always cute. I remember Sparky when he was little. He'd do like figure eights around the backyard and he'd run so fast he would like fall and trip over his own head and then get back up and just continue running. Yeah, I myself am going to make a oven-baked pizza after this is over. And since I shared them earlier, here is some figures that Handgun saw. We got Gaz here. Yeah. And then the two Bulmas that I have. The Dragon Ball Stylings Bulma. And then one of my favorites, this diorama thing with the Dragon Ball logo and the motorcycle that she and Goku ride on at the start of the series. Oh, and here's other ones you could get. Goku from the very end. Piccolo and Kami. Then Vegeta in his Ozaru form. Yeah, the Bulma bike one is one of my favorites. Yeah, here's the back of the box. I guess this is like showing the production of it. And then the specifics. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is based off of artwork that Toriyama did during the Red Ribbon saga. I can probably look it up and put it in Discord later if I find it. And the audience is all giving odd looks to Doko here. The announcer is, he's finishing up here his whole dialogue of these are the last two fighters, blah, 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 blah. But before the final match, let us hear what they have to say. And Doko is... The Claw's already saying something, and he starts to say, before... I think it's before he fights Akwashi in the previous comic, he says to Doko that I expect a consummate performance out of you. And then he goes to fight Akwashi, and here he's going to repeat it and says, I do still expect a... And then Doko, finishes the sentence, and he's like, you expect a consummation out of me. And the audience is just all staring at him because of that. Yeah, it's a classic Doko not understanding and getting things mixed up in his head. Oh, well, I guess we will see you on Discord, Dumbo. Yeah, I think there might be a place to show the figures on the Discord, but I can't remember. If not, just put the pictures in the general channel that pops up there. Okay, let's get some shading on the announcer here. Some shading on some of the people. Mech and Tesley are up there. Yeah, most people just put things in the general channel. I do have things set up so that there are categories, but it's more of sort of a suggestion for those that want to put it in those. People use the art category the most, I think, other than the general category. That and Digital Elite does a lot of the meme channel stuff. Some other people do it sometimes there, but Digital's the one that frequents that the most. Oh, I could play the Mega Man Zero games. I do have those. Although 01 is very hard. It is quite a bit more unforgiving than the other Zero games. Not quite sure how well that would go. Okay. Let's just get a bit more shading over here. Try to get it a bit dark shading so that it actually comes through as shading on the Windows 10 computer. I wish the Windows 10 computer had the same, like, specifications to the screen settings that my Windows 7 one does. The Windows 10 one is just slightly lighter. You wouldn't notice it unless you have them, like, side by side, though. It just makes it a bit hard at times to tell what is and isn't shaded well enough when on that computer. Okay, no. That hand, I had it right. Okay. There we go. Okay. Let me see here. Shading. So what are all the systems that you guys use for, like, computer or phone type stuff? To, like, what do you use to get on the internet with, is what I'm asking. Out of curiosity. I have a Windows 10 computer and a Windows 7 one, which I've had for years. I used to have a Linux one, but that eventually died after like 15 years, I think. It was pretty much, I got the last of the stuff that I had on it onto a like flash drive like 3 days before it finally just stopped working. And transferred all that into the Windows 7 computer when I got it. Oh, just a sec. I can get you the Discord. Now. Copy. And here we... Let's see. There's the Discord link. Okay. There we go. Oh. Yeah. Well, I guess we will be having you in Discord after this. Well, it's not something that you need to get on or anything. It's just, if you want to come and talk and stuff, it's there. Okay, so Handgun uses a phone and a laptop, and Daniel uses a laptop. Alright, Well, welcome to Discord, Dumbo. I would say hello there, but obviously I am preoccupied at the moment. Now you behave. Do not get into fights with all the other kids. Don't steal their lunch money or anything. It's Masas's job. Oh, well, I will be sure to see the collection after I'm done streaming. I'm sure Shadow the Cartoonist will probably be quite ecstatic to see the stuff. Yeah, Shadow the Cartoonist is the one that I know is... He's probably the biggest Dragon Ball fan in there. Well, you can't get a smudging finger of my finger yet handgun, but with your support on Patreon, if you donate $100, we may make our way towards that goal. Yeah, I've always smudged with my hand. Mom used to get me like smudging tools, but they don't do it as well to me as my hand, like my finger does. Doesn't feel as natural. If I'm selling my literal fingers, that would be quite a bit more than $100. We're talking about reproduction fingers. Now, the actual fingers, these three, they're never going. But the others, probably like, I guess, $1 million maybe. For each of them, not for all of them. Yeah, now to get my body parts, it'll cost a bit. But if you're willing to save up, actually, I'll need the thumb for this one. Maybe I could probably get rid of the middle finger on this one. But I'd still need to, like, be able to play video games, so I need some of them. These three stay. They're the drawing fingers. Would make typing a bit harder, but I'm sure I'd get by. With $1 million, it's like, I can build up from there. Once I have that financial security, I have time to get all this done and everything, and no worry about it getting published and making more money to replace things with. In the end, I'm gonna need those artificial organs anyway to keep going after about 80 years. Well, folks, we're on Saga 720. Thanks for tuning in. I saw that Shadow the Cartoonist just had a heart attack the other day. I wish him well. We're getting back to work on the Bloodbrush Empire saga. Yeah, that'll probably be me by that point. Doug Tenaple will be long dead in the ground, and I'll just keep on making my comics and stuff. Okay, and one last panel to shade. Wake up the masses. Da 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 ba da 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 ba ba da ba da. Da 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 ba da 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 ba da da ba da 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 bam bam ba da 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 da. Da 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 ba da 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 da. And now for your hosts, Henry and June. Oh yeah, cutting fingers off in horror games is a pretty common occurrence throughout that genre. I think, I'm sure they do that in the witch's house at some point. It's a classic RPG Maker horror game. Very sad ending. Yeah, what Doug TeNapel used to do in his comic making streams is he'd usually have a guest. A lot of times it was, I think, Gabe El Taib. He's like a guy that works on like Teen Titans and Young Justice comics and stuff. And he'd have that second person like look at questions that people ask in the chat along the side while the video's going, so he would just focus on his work while they talked, and then he would get relayed messages from the other person that was on the stream with him. I think the Vector Man guy was like showing people how to whistle or something when Doug left at one point. I think you've mentioned the fairy tale idea before, Daniel. Oh no, Handgun. Those streams are all long gone at this point. It's, he got his channel taken down, and I tried to save the streams. Like, I could see what he was doing. Like, it was obvious his channel was gonna get taken down. So I was like, I'd been trying to save some streams before that, but it's like, with how many streams he did, like, he did streams basically like I do, where it's like, he did it of like every page of the comic of the Earthworm Jim and Bigfoot Bill comics. And it's like, those are 160-page comics. There was no way I was saving everything, so I only got around 10 streams saved in the end. So I probably have all that is left of that, and I'm probably the only person that has access to that. But no, all the other streams other than those are gone. You're not seeing them again. And I think, yeah, last year Doug's account on his computer got hacked, and he said that all of his like stuff got erased on his computer. So if he had backups of those streams, I'm pretty sure they're gone now. So that's how that is. Oh, well, if you are worried about someone's stuff getting deleted, I can probably point you in the direction of things that might help save some of that stuff, but unless the person is like doing some really crazy stuff, I would not be all that concerned about things getting taken down. Unless they take them down themselves, that's always a factor in it. I wish I had access to Petronius's old reviews that he did, but he's privatized all those videos, so I can't see them anymore. If I'd known he was gonna do that, I would have tried to, like, record them or save them onto my computer somehow before he did that. But it is what the creators decide to do, and no one knows what goes on in their minds except them. And at the end of the day, it is what they want if they take them down, so it is their right. I just wish that I was able to see everything I want to see. Ethan von Sciver. Ethan von Cyberfrog. Cyberfrog. Well, I will look into that person later on today, probably, or tomorrow. And I'll see what I think of how, if they're going, like, in too much danger or anything. No, you gotta, with YouTube, you generally have to really try to get taken down, to actually get taken down, from my experience. That sounds vaguely familiar, Bowyer. I think you might have told it to me before. Comic Pro Secrets. Comic Pro Secrets. Yeah, Bowyer comes up with a few ideas for things. Ow. I was so happy to find that sushi place down there next to the ice cream place. I had no idea that was there. Is that shading all right? Oh, your creative handgun. You showed all those drawings you did earlier from when you were younger. You got skill, it's fine. You just need to believe in yourself. Okay. shade this guy. Mechmech and Tesley are up here just sort of... Mechmech's like staring at Doko like, you really said that here? And Tesley's just looking off, trying to distance herself from what Doko said, not making eye contact. And the announcer's just got this blank expression there. Oh. Well, I didn't know it was going to be like a whole video. Well, that'll be interesting to see later. And Daniel was just here sharing his fantasy princess ideas. Oh. Oh, he's Dumbo is a mega fan. If any of you would ever wish to hear my thoughts on Dragon Ball, I do have that Dragon Ball review video I did earlier this year. Or no, it was last year, but it's still not been a whole year that it's been up yet. I don't know if you were here for it, Dumbo, but here's a little Vegeta Gashapon I got. Piccolo Daimyo. The Pirate Robot. And the Bulmas. Or Baruma. Really, Bulma's name, it should translate more probably as Bluma. Her name is supposed to be like bloomers, like the underwear. But how they pronounce it in the dub, it's like Bulma, which is just making a more comprehensible version for English of Baruma. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Not mean to knock the camera around. Baruma, Tolangsu, Kuririn. Yeah, a lot of the names in English are just getting it more in line with how English people might pronounce the names. The Muten Roshi. Vegeta. Vegeta. It's just how the dubs decided to go about with the names. Although if you go with the old... Is it Harmony Gold? That was that really weird dub of like the original few episodes where they called Goku Zero and stuff. That was just weird. I have the VHS tapes of the first few episodes of Dragon Ball, but that was from a later dub. I can put up all sorts of artwork of Bulma for you, Handgun. I've got scans of most of the. I've got scans of, I think, all of the Kanzenbans up to the fight against Vegeta, maybe Namek, some of Namek. But I've definitely got enough materia of Bulma for you to see. Okay. The shading's all done. Go into... Ow. Yeah. Go into... Ouch. Lower this. Well, Handgun, you are in luck. When I got up, I went to go look through the Kanzenbans, and just a sec. It's in this one that it shows up. It's one of the... There it is. If we... Yeah. Yeah, here it is. Same exact outfit. There we go. But yeah, I can put that up on the Discord later. Oh. She's got a... Yeah. Oop. Come on. Not wanting to go into that. Yeah, she's got this little stand that you can set her up on. But I'm just keeping her in the box for now. All I'm doing right now is working. Oh. And, here is the late Christmas present that I got yesterday. It's of one of my... well, the anime of it's one of my favorite animes. It's a series about these girls that try to make anime. Sort of a... people that are creators would like the series. It's a very good one. Now, where were we? Oh yeah, I'm lowering the stand. Now, the anime is pretty awesome. It's called Keep Your Hands Off of Aizokin. It takes place in the school where there's like a club for everything. There's a mecha club for the robotics people. There's a the police type club acts as sort of the security force for the school, and the student body acts as like government people for the place. It's sort of a youth acting like they're this own sort of nation within the school. But it's all about the trials and tribulations of the three girls in the anime club, which is Aizokin, who are trying to make anime, and the hassles that come with trying to create an anime or cartoon series it goes through. Whenever they're like coming up with ideas and stuff, it's not just talking. It'll like show the actual like machines or robots with like a drawn out outline, but they're like physically interacting with it as if it's really there. And when they start up like mechanisms in the ideas and stuff, it's like making sound effects, but it's like obviously being done with someone's mouth if you're listening, like it's and you just hear that in the background while they're like talking about things and stuff. It's really fun. I think it was made by the anime was made by Saint Saru. The manga is just one guy. He's still doing it. The anime was only one season, unfortunately. But the manga is still going on quite a bit after that. I think it's only 13 episodes in the anime. Yeah, for anyone that likes to create anything, that show is something I would highly recommend you see at some point. One of the girls is like the main girl is Asukasa. She is just sort of in her own little world, always making stuff. I think Midori's the one that's like the manager type, and she's always stingy and about money and keeping everything on track. And then there's this idol, Tsubame, I think, and she's wants to be just an anime creator instead of what her parents expect her to be, since they're actors and want her to be one too. It's a fun series. Yeah, it goes into what all actually goes into animation, how things are done in the industry, and the techniques that the creators use and everything. It goes into in-betweens and the getting proper sound effects for scenes and everything. It's over dramatized to like make it really fun and wacky and stuff, but it does have like legitimate insight into like the creation process and what needs to be like sacrificed to get certain projects to be done on time and everything. And I might need to stand for this. Okay. Well, if you ever need those, I have every episode of that show on my computer, Handgun. Subtitled, so you can understand it. Oh, well, I thank you for joining us. It's always nice to have you watching. Oh, I'm always building the goods, Handgun. Got all of the Japanese Beast Wars material the other day. I just wish there wasn't so much talking on these pages. Once we get into the actual fighting portion, there's going to be a lot less word bubbles to fill out. These take up so much time. Mainly because I'm trying to remember what they're saying after I erase it while talking. Though many fighters have... Okay. Many fighters have... Oh, and if you ever need them, I do have those 10 or so Doug to Naples streams if you want handgun. It's the only place you'll ever get them, I'm sure. Ow. Yeah, it's just unfortunate I can't put those things on Discord because of that stupid limit they have on there. It's like, what can you put up that's like of actual consequence in a video? It's like under 8 megabytes. What is that crap? The potential. If I could, I'd put up my Samurai Jack music video that like is blocked on YouTube up on there, but it's too big of a file. And anytime I try to like make the file smaller, it ends up making the video so small you can't see what it is. Do remember everyone loved it while it was up, though. It got so many likes. And then it just stopped one day, because it got blocked. One of my favorite music videos. Yeah. Yeah, I love me a good Samurai Jack. To be the victor. Well, you have a good day, handgun. Enjoy your meal. I'll just be here working. Yeah. Yes, all the anime tropes. Yeah, that's something that people question a bit sometimes when they're not as into anime, Bowyer. They sort of put things on pause while the action is going on. What I like is when the creators make use of that and like just have the character cut off that type of stuff, and it's just, oh, you're doing your attack thing, and while that stuff is going on, the other guy just attacks and stops it. That's always funny to do. Now that explaining the attack thing was kind of what Yamcha's role sort of was in, like, before the series went on for too long in Dragon Ball. Because he would be the one that would go out and fight and end up getting beaten up to show how big of a threat the person that beat him up was, because he's like a main character. So this guy that beat him up must be really tough and that type of thing. And then the other function he served was like Yamcha had like a knowledge of like all the ancient mystical things that would always happen. So he'd be the one that would explain that stuff whenever it popped up. It's like, oh, the Kamehameha. Nobody's used that in years. That's Master Roshi. That's a legendary type of thing. And he'd be the one to do that every time. But as the series went on, his role got diminished more and more, so it kind of phased out. Yeah, for this tournament that Doko is in, Doko is you like yelling out attack names like other fighters in the tournament have been doing at times during this fight. And at a certain point, the claw just says, Doko, stop saying the attack names. All that's doing is letting me know you're going to hit me. And he just sort of kind of gets annoyed by the whole thing because he wants an actual fight and not a show offy anime type of thing that the tournament is about. Like, he doesn't care what the announcer or anyone watching wants. He just wants an actual fight. And it is going to be a bit of a fight. Easily gonna be the longest fight of this comic. Probably going to do about half of it in color. Not really sure if I could record doing it in color though, because it'd be painting. And if I have the page up like this, the paint is just going to drip down, and obviously we don't want that. Yeah, Doko's got his own style to him. Doko can get pretty dangerous in a fight, though. He's not someone that you want to make angry. He is not he had a pretty pretty good fight against Opticlops, but he has not shown like all that he is capable of yet in the tournament. obviously the big fight is the final fight, so we'll be getting to see what happens here. Dum boom boom. Ba da 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Bum ba dum ba dum. Make some of these words up here a bit darker. Yeah, while making the comic, it sometimes you get comments on the pages as you're making it, and things that are being asked in the comments are things you sort of have to dance around at times, because spoiler type stuff. And then other things are like, someone might ask, oh, did it happen because of this and stuff? Like, did you make it happen because it was suggested in this comment? And it's like, no, I've got like so many pages drawn out in advance. Like, everything's all set in stone by the time I'm actually making the pages. It just happens to line up with people's guesses sometimes. It's just a funny little thing I've found in my experience with making the comics. Yeah. And some little texture along the walls here. Little crack down there, some little specks on the tournament floor. Yeah, I'm going to, after I'm finished with this comic, I plan, well, I've said before, I plan to remake the first few comics, but another thing I plan to do is start writing out, like, I don't have scripts or anything normally written out in advance before I make the comics and just make it on the spot. A lot of it's just in my head. And I plan to write out scripts for as many issues as I can for in case anything ever happens to me, so that the people that do like the series actually find out what the end of the story is supposed to be like. And with how long this series probably is going to go on, it'll like be decades before it ends. There are various. I should probably draw in the audience member that's on the left of this first. I'm going to get up to get in a better position. Oh, Yeah, the tournament here was sort of just going by the idea that the Dragon Ball, it started out with sort of an adventure and then a tournament saga after that. That was the initial reasoning for why I did a tournament as the second event of the comic series. Just sort of following that old format. Drawing in all these audience members takes a bit of time sometimes. Aspects. That. Ouch. Ow. That. There are various aspects that I thought might ensure. Okay. Just messed up on that. That I thought. Yeah, sometimes while I'm making the final version of the page, I'll come across errors that I did, and word bubbles get stretched out or shrunken in too much at times because of that. So I'll have to spend time rereading and correcting the sentences as I'm doing the final version. That I thought might ensure. Thought. I thought might ensure might ensure that you could be one of the finalists. Could be one of the finalists. Okay. We gotta edge out the word balloon a bit down here now, as that was too big of a word. Now I don't have to write any words until this word balloon over here. Hop, hop, hop. Aren't you glad you come into this stream just spelling out word balloons, the stream? Okay. Edge it off there. And back around there. That should do. I should have the word balloon having a section that comes from that area to show where the voice is coming from. And then down here, it gets a bit weird in this part, because I have the panel lines. I don't think I've ever done this type of panel line work before, where it's like split up into these sections and it follows from like this to this, but it follows because you can see there's like a connection between the word balloon in this panel and the one in this one. And then the announcer's words are just going like down here. They're just his own section and this own section, and they naturally all get read eventually by the final panel where the reaction culminates in. Now I gotta figure out how I drew this guy up here. I think he has a visor of some sort over this eyepiece he has on his head. And you can see this robot here is from page 27 of the previous comic. He's in the lower left of that page. I had to come up with what the person next to him looked like as I was making this page. There's a few audience members that I try to keep consistent throughout the tournament whenever it goes to certain areas of the audience stands. What I wouldn't give for sushi right now. Sashimi, nigiri. That sushi place I went to had pretty nice sushi. It wasn't hard, it just came apart in your mouth, nice and soft. Now, this is supposed to be some kind of robot guy. Maybe a biobot, I guess. Though I forget how many eyes he has in there, if it's 1 or 2. Or if he has any in the design. It's something I can fix in editing. With how I'm positioned here, I have to sort of wrap my arm around from underneath the stand that this camera is set up on. Oh, we got the camera that's recording the tournament back here. It's one of the big blocky ones. Probably kind of unfitting given the time period this takes place in, but the people of the comic world make use of both old and new technology, so you can write it off as just them doing that for this. Really, it's just that's the image of a camera that you expect to see at these types of things, so that's what I went with. It's iconic and makes it simple for the reader to understand. Goodbye, Goku. Yeah, Goku just fell off of the stand up here. His home is now on the ground. Yeah. Trying to remember what color I had the cameraman's shirt as, if it's light or dark. I'm just gonna make it dark to have it like, it just looks better when put up against like the white objects. And the camera will be black, so it'll give it a nice variety of different hues to work with. Yes, put a little reflective shine in the camera, the lens. But down, if the camera keeps shaking, I do apologize. I need to get close enough to draw, and my arm bumps up against it at times. And this is a very wobbly old stand that, like, sheet music got put on. Got Doko with a little just look of listening to him. Go. Guy is a bit too big there. Rein it in a bit. And whatever doesn't come out right, just fix it in editing. That's the joys of the modern day. Can just clone stamp all of the cameraman's arm out of Doko's cheek there. It is a bit tiring doing this all in one sitting, though. Like, obviously, from what you can see here, it's not the quickest and most simple thing in the world to draw out these comic pages. But it gets done eventually. Would be nice to just like put time on pause and step away with everyone frozen and just take a break. That is not a fantasy any of us can live in, as far as I know. There might be some secret government facility somewhere that has that type of technology developed, but as far as I'm aware, it's just science fiction at this point. I remember it happened to Glomgold in one episode of the newer DuckTales. Dreams last for so long, even after you're gone. I know you love me, and soon you will see you're meant for me, and I was meant for you. Dreams last for so long, even after you're gone. I know you love me, and soon you will see you're meant for me, and I was meant for you. And 90s pop songs, always catchy. Dreams last for so long, even after you're gone. I know you love me, and soon you will see you're meant for me, and I was meant for you. Yeah, when I was younger, romance songs always just kind of made me depressed because I always figured I'd end up alone. And so far, that has not changed. It's still just me here. But you get used to it after enough decades. Long as I can get my stuff made, that's what matters in the end. Yaddle. Ouch. Move the body. Ugh. Well, we're at 2 hours and 15 minutes so far. We're getting towards the end of the top panels. Yeah, I usually have the camera guy on the right side of the tournament arena. If we take this back out, he's usually, well, it's the right side if you're facing the audience here. It's the left side if you're facing the building. So he's always usually down here, but it is shown at the end of the previous comic that he can take the camera off the stand and take it somewhere else, because you see him running away from the Krekelank gas cloud that's like liquefying Hawker's lungs and stuff. The nerve gas. Just picks up the camera and runs off with it. Yeah, this would not be a tournament to forget. Quite a bit of stuff happens in it. And then the... Let's get the pencil sharpener here. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Bow down. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Okay. Get back to work on this person's face up here. Boom. You know, a few years back, it was getting towards a pretty good session of finally getting things that people should have gotten years ago. The whole Rocco's Modern Life getting a final movie, Hey Arnold getting a movie, the movie that they had, like, in like the ending that they intended to do back when the show was being made. The Invader Zim Enter the Florpus finally getting an animated continuation of Zim. And then Samurai Jack, which I think sort of started that whole entire era of bringing back things for like finishing or continuing them. Not a reboot or a remake or anything, just continuing what the audience just wanted them to do in the first place, not cancel the stuff. Yeah, it was a pretty exciting time. Dad did get me the whole Blu-ray collection of Samurai Jack after the final season came out. Although the Blu-rays do not have one of the extra features that the DVDs had, which I think is the round table where Gendy and the team are just sitting around and talking about what it was like creating the show. It was always a pretty nice feature and insight into their stuff. Yeah. My body is cramping up because I am sitting hunched over like this over the camera and having my arm come out from underneath it and stuff. Ow. Okay, that's a guy back there. Let's do some dark skin there to keep it varied. Maybe put some vents on that person's shirt. And just have someone with the short sleeve shirt back here. That'll do. Got another person here with the visor-ish thing. Let's see how this word bubble goes. Yeah. Yeah, get rid of this shading. There we go. Ow, 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 ow. I should be getting all my talking out now while I can, because while working on the word balloon down here, I can't really do it that well. Let's see, that one's like that, so we do that. Do the hair up here. I started recording the All Your History Belong to Us old machinima documentaries this morning. And those are things that I don't want lost to time. Just random documentaries they do on different video games and video game companies and stuff. That was on the old machinima website. I didn't normally watch machinima, but there were some things I'd see from it from time to time. I'd a lot of times watch Classic Game Room, their reviews they do and stuff, and it's kind of weird going back to some of them now with how they would sometimes talk about how cheap certain games were and stuff, and nowadays a lot of them seem to be getting up there in the price range, not nearly as inexpensive as they were in those reviews. If I may have said not nearly as expensive as in those reviews. I meant not as inexpensive. But what I will say, what I will yeah. And another round of me being quieter as I try to fill in the dialogue in the word bubble. Say is that I'm. Say is that I'm. Say is that I'm. Yeah, it'll definitely be a tournament to remember, Bowyer. Is that. Yeah, if it were a real life tournament, this would be getting all sorts of rave reviews and ratings, I'm sure. Considering there was like an actual attempted murder at this one. Is that I'm glad that I'm glad that you've that you've proved yourself thus far. Proved yourself thus far. Yeah, no, the that first match Doko is in the tournament would obviously either have to be censored if it were on children's networking, which I would not recommend it to be, or even if it weren't sometimes they'll still censor things that are that explicit on adult channels for some reason. I'm not sure why. I would assume that anything would be allowed to be shown on certain channels, but apparently not. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it's nice to see someone remembers the matches so far. All right. Now I gotta deal with this mess down here. Okay. This'll take a bit of work because I have all these people with the words laid over them. What should I do? Let's do that. Maybe just make a mostly black shirt back there. What I will do is raise the stand. Oop, oop, oop. It's a bit too high. That it's lowered a tiny bit more. Okay, that should work. Huh. I might need to get something to put underneath. Just a sec. Let me see here. Is this... Oh, that's pretty good. Where is a good thing to put up underneath it? What should I get? It has to be heavy, but not thick. Okay. Hello, whoever else came in. We are currently in the middle of me trying to get a stand to put up under just some other stuff to put up underneath here to keep it, like, from collapsing. Ba 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 ba. Oh, there's all this stuff. A little treasure of poetry. Okay. Alright, that should work. I got some stuff leveled out underneath the stand here. Well, hello to whoever has joined us. I know Balyer's in here. We're currently working still on our 55th page of the comic here. After all of these matches, after all of these, yeah, I have to try and figure out what I wrote in here over the audience, which I have to erase and, like, remember after all of these. Because I, like, drew out the entire picture here, not knowing where I put the word bubble, and it ended up going over all of these characters that I drew. So it's, like, all messy in this word balloon. After all of these. So, yeah, it's a bit of a mess on this middle one here. So, do you guys got anything planned to eat tonight? I'm just going to heat up a pizza in the oven after this, because I'll be too worn out to really do much else after all of this. Feeling a bit of the hunger right now. Fortunately, I have a bag of chips here. Or the end of a bag of chips. About 7 servings per container. After all of these matches, and after all of these matches, what does that say? And there's only 2 remain. After all of these matches, something will stand. Only... no. Tallado. After all of these matches, who will Okay, what does this say? After all of these matches, who will stand who will stand something out of 10 fighters after all of these matches, who will stand triumphant? I think? Or victorious? Yeah, okay. I am not going to write like that again. Out of all these fighters, who will stand? After all of these matches, after all of these matches, who yeah, this is I need to not put words over figures next time. This is near impossible to decipher. Who will stand? I'm pretty sure this is what it said. The announcer's dialogue is a lot less important than the other characters. So it's not too bad if I mix up what he says a bit, as long as it makes sense. Who will stand? I think victorious? Who will stand? Victorious. I'll put victorious. Out of 10 fighters. Yeah, I was getting a bit confused because I thought it was one ongoing sentence, but I think it's split into two there. Out of 10 fighters. This is a nightmare to sort through. I was not thinking this through when I laid out like the words on top of the characters in the background. I need to like get a magnifying glass to see what it is like that's separate from the background here. Fighters, only 2 remain, I think is what it says. Let's see. Yeah, oh, you're getting pizza. You already had pizza with French fries and cheesy garlic bread. It sounds very nice. You said you can't hear, and now you can hear handgun. So, hello again. I'm trying to decipher here. I put all these words over these characters because I didn't know where the word balloon was going to go. And that's just made it a complete nightmare to figure out what I had written down. So I'm having to decipher this while sorting through what's part of the background that I need to erase and what's actual words. Out of 10 fighters, fighters, only 2 remain. Remain. Thankfully, the rest of this isn't as bad because there's not all the people behind the words. I can more or less make out what the rest of that word balloon says. Hi again, handgun. Ugh, sorry, I have to keep focusing on the picture. It's not as easy to see chat while I'm sorting through the background and the words I have to separate. And only one will take home. And only one will take home. And only one only one will take home I'm not sure how familiar either of you are with Transformers, but out of what you know, which would be your favorite? Only one will take home the prize money. Okay. The prize money. The one that... The prize money. The one that... The prize money. The one that... The prize money. The prize money that Rat Trap would love to get his hands on. Oh, both beast choices. I have a figure of Rat Trap somewhere. It's a later figure, so it actually looks good. When it was transformed, I had it in my drawer once. The one that... The prize money. Okay. I had it in my drawer once, and I immediately shut the drawer because I thought it was an actual rat. That is how good the figure looked. The one that... Is this going to fit in here? Yeah, just barely it'll fit in there. I do have an animated Black Arachnia toy. I always wanted the Transmetal 3 Black Arachnia, or the Beast Machine's Black Arachnia. Will stand as. Stand as the latest champion of the Shadow Tournaments. It's getting a bit cumbersome to sit and draw hunched over. See. Get the paper back there. Latest. Champion of the champion. I know this is such riveting commentary to listen to. You guys truly are tolerant for sitting through all of this garbage. Champion of the Shadow Tournaments. Yeah, well, at least I can remember those words. It's just the name of the event they're all taking part in. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. The Shadow Yeah, I always liked Sideways a lot myself from Transformers. Transformers Armada was the best thing he was ever in. Or it's the best portrayal of the character. Seems to be playing all sides, but in the end has his own agenda, which serves to further Unicron's goals. Unicron has destroyed 3.333 no, he's destroyed 33.3333333 infinity % of the multiverse in Transformers. That is how many universes he has led to the destruction of. Yeah, the dark god of chaos, the planet eater. Bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum. I just got the cameraman back here, keeping the camera steady. Yeah, big blocky camera. They don't have cameras in the tournaments of Dragon Ball before the one before Boo. All of the early tournaments were just the spectators watching. They also didn't really have stands set up. Everyone, like, stood around the arena. This guy has sunglasses. Now I've got Mezase Tenkaichi playing inside my head. Dun dun. Dun 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 da da down. Ba da 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 down. Dun dun down. Ba dun 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 down. Down bum. Ba da dum bum 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 ba dum. Down. Ba dum down down bum 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 bum. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, the guy that does Keep Your Hands Off Isaacan does comic making streams also. I've watched a few of them and they're pretty nice. It's just that I can't understand anything he says cuz he's Japanese. It's the only downside there. I have talked with people in the chat of the streams though, by like running what they say through Google Translate to see what the Japanese stuff that's being said by them is. Yeah, a lot of good artists overseas. But at least you get to see their art that they make. That is always a pretty nice thing. I'm sure most go quicker than I do. Ouch. Ouch. Ow. I wish I knew of a way to get into a more comfortable position for this. Now this guy up here is that guy, so we take the helmet thing there. Have the hair here. And up here is Lil Shadow from Shadow the Cartoonist stuff. You can't see him that well, but you can see him on page 27 of the previous comic. It shows the same stands as it does here. There's just a... No, wait, that guy... He didn't have any shading to him. He's just a white figure. Yeah, this guy that I'm drawing has like this Samus Aran type of helmet, but without the piping along the mouthpiece. But you can't see how he looks because the word balloon's covering him up. Gotta have space for the announcers talking. This guy has just got like this mushroom hat or mushroom top to his head. There we go. Umbayado. I don't know if I'll be able to make it through this whole page before I have to eat. I am getting pretty hungry. Yeah. We're still going for now. Yeah, most people are looking at the announcer rather than these two, so they can't really hear what's going on with them. Especially since the microphone isn't pointed at them, but the announcer in this panel holds the microphone up to them, and that's when they hear what they're saying, which puts everyone in sort of a confused state from the wording that Doko chooses with what he's conversing about with the claw. For the announcer, he always has 3 buttons here on the right side of his outfit. Or I guess from his perspective, it would be his left side. Yeah. Yeah, I did see that people were watching the Earthworm Jim stream I did do yesterday. Pretty sure video game streams will always get more views than, like, drawing streams when I do them. What would help with these streams is if I could sit without, like, pain happening. That would just be a godsend. Yeah, I got so many things to work on. Can't wait until that Invader Zim one's finished up. I pretty much have the thing finished up. I just need to, like, put in the voices and sound effects and a few visual effects to make things feel more complete. Oh yeah, it's the animation part of the Invader Zim animation is complete. It's just all the post stuff and then animating a credit sequence and everything. I'm gonna put Shadow the Cartoonist and another patron in the credits as, like, the people that help make this possible type of thing. If you wish to contribute, please go to this Patreon, blah 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 blah. Yeah, I think it's at $8. I put it at that you can, like, get access to, like, works in progress and, like, you see early versions of these pages and stuff like that. Sometimes see beta versions of the animations and everything. I forget what the there is a tier that's like the it's like lower than that. It's like $3. But then there's, like, one that's just you contribute whatever you want to do. And that one doesn't get you anything, but it's just to sort of show the creator that you support their stuff. I made little images to go along with each, like, tier level. Well, I thought I had the patron in the stream descriptions, but I put it up on all sorts of things when I post stuff. But, yeah. If it's not there, I can't really put it up on this tablet when I stream, like, in real life, because it's like I have to manually type everything out with my finger. But I can do it on the other streams. I doubt it'd really do anything, because it's not like many people watch the streams, but you guys always do. So there is that participation, at least. Yeah, the announcer and his swirly hair. Ow, ow, ow. Ugh. Ouch, ow. I'm just trying to get up to stretch my body out. Still got all these bricks to draw in the background. Stop shaking. Yeah, I don't know if I can make it to the end of this stream without, or the end of this page without, like, stopping to make dinner with how hungry I've been getting. What time is it? Oh, wow, that would explain it. It's like 5:45 right now. So I may have to end the stream when I get done with this middle area here. And at least we will have gotten something done here. There will be recorded evidence of my progress. And yeah, the Dragon Ball movie that you were talking about, Handgun, was Dead Zone, which is originally called Give Me Back My Gohan in the Japanese version. The Japanese version has some really very just normal sentences type of for a lot of the movie titles. It's never been my favorite naming convention for the stuff. Like, there's, I think, one that's called The World's Strongest Guy, and it's like, that could be any Dragon Ball movie. Like, what? Why are you naming it that? But it's powerful and impactful, I guess. I know they have their own naming schemes for things over there. Yeah, what I want to do, I was thinking of ideas last night after doing the Earthworm Jim stream, and I was thinking of, like, taking the footage from the Earthworm Jim streams I did and making a sort of edited let's play of it with, like, popping up messages from, like, Bowyer Handgun at times on the screen when you guys would, like, post in the videos themselves to, like, give more of a reference for what is being replied to by me at times, and animating a few tiny sequences here and there to keep things sort of lively and stuff. Have Psychro grin at the screen after the end of two's Let's Play, where I end it by saying, like, stupid Psychro, and that's, like, how I ended that stream. I wasn't really thinking when I said that, but that's just how I felt afterwards. And then it just, like, flipped to a little simple animation of him looking at the screen and smiling, and then it ends. Just ideas for videos and stuff. Yeah, I can do talking pretty okay when it's doing, like, video games that I know and stuff and can go through. I was kind of worried that I was just going to have to give up Gym 2 because I was wasting, like, every single life and went through 3 continues. I didn't know if I had any other chances, but I finally beat Psychro towards the end there, and yeah, it was ridiculously long. It was like over 15 minutes of attempts at that final level. which is a level I can normally beat in like one try. But I was not very happy with Psychro after that. I suppose it's fitting revenge for me beating him in every race in the first game. That and those puppy loves he put me through. That is horrible shading down there. But will the readers care? Not at all. All they'll see is that it's gray. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, if I had it my way, I'd probably be doing a Let's Play every day. But I got other things to do, so can't exactly do that. It's been quite a few years since I did a Let's Play, though. I know Dumbo likes my old Resident Evil remake Let's Play. I think he said that he watches it like every year or something. I used to do that with Team Canada from Minecraft whenever they do the maps that they go through for the Minecraft stuff, the find the wool maps and stuff. I love Etho, Pause and Pause, and Vintage Beef working together all the time. They just work so well off of each other. Etho just blatantly lying to their faces sometimes when he's doing things there. You can see he's doing something else on the screen. And there's no way to like tell if you're not seeing because he's just talking like it's normal and stuff. I guess there is Brent King of Skill. He's Canadian. He's a Let's Player. Well, I see the Mario Party, like, the Mario Party videos he does with Vernius Sophist and TC Nick 3. They're hilarious. They're quickly becoming some of my favorite Let's Players of the modern day. And now my fingers, the back of my fingers are all dirty from the graphite. Such is the way of an artist. I think TC Nick 3 is from Texas. Because I've seen that flag behind him in his room before. Ouch. Pep, 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 pep. Now we gotta put the... Hold on. Okay, that's right. Okay, so yeah, we gotta put the bricks in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should do. Gotta make them higher. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I try to keep the amount of bricks on this wall as like 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes it'll switch to 6 depending on how like high I have the wall in scenes. But usually I think it's 5. It's a bit hard keeping it consistent at times. I was playing through Mega Man Zero last night, though, after I got to thinking about, well, what other games could I let's play? And, I can still do it, it's just like, it is a challenging game at parts. Some of those, especially in the early game, because, unlike other Mega Man games, Mega Man Zero, you have to, like, build up your ability. So, the more often you use weapons, the more powerful they will get over time. So, a certain amount of slashes will eventually let you be able to double slash. A certain amount will let you be able to triple slash and that kind of thing. And it's in the early game, you're probably gonna die a lot more. It's just getting past that initial barrier that's probably the most annoying part of it. I'm pretty sure they got rid of that as it went on. I'd have to replay all the games again. It has been years since I played those games. Yeah, usually people consider 03 to be the best Mega Man Zero game. It's probably the most fun. Although I like 01 a lot. 04 I thought was going to be kinda lame, because it starts out with like this real big emphasis on like protecting the environment and stuff, and it's like, oh, great, the Captain Planet game of the series. But by the end, it's like, oh, no, they do have to protect the environment, because this is literally going to kill everybody. It gets pretty... Getting to the end is not the best Zero game, I would say, but the ending of it is pretty incredible. And I've never cried in a video game, but it has one of the saddest endings of a video game to me. It's nice that a Mega Man series actually got to end. The X games were supposed to end at Mega Man X5, but and it was supposed to just transition over into the Zero games at that point, but because Capcom wanted money, they kept doing the X games and making things harder to be compatible with the later Zero stuff at times because of that. It's not too incompatible. You can still line things up enough, but it's like it was obviously supposed to end at X5. Oh, my stomach is growling. Ow, ow, ow. That hurt. Yeah, the Mega Man X games, they were gonna end at X5, but they just kept on going. X6 was like, I'm trying to remember. It's I think it was made in less than a year, and it really shows. It is the worst of the X games aside from arguably X8 or X7. X8 was the actual good one of the later X games. And they never say it, but I'm pretty sure the implication is that the Maverick virus was made based off of the evil energy from Mega Man 8. It feels like that's what the implication is. And it makes sense, because it's like, at the same time they were developing the story for X4, where the like reveal of the origins of the Maverick virus were from, they were also making X8 at the same time. Or they were making Mega Man 8 at the same time. And the Zero art book that I have does say that Mega Man X had a antivirus system that was designed based on research on an alien virus that came to Earth a long time ago, which is obviously the evil energy. Yeah, all signs always pointed to the Maverick virus being made out of the evil energy in some form or fashion. But because Capcom doesn't do anything with Mega Man, you never get to see any of that. It's all just left up to interpretation, unfortunately. I am having to hold my arm up with my other hand because it is getting tired of being in the air drawing. Okay, curves here, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I'll get to a break once I get done with this panel here. I'm kind of annoyed in myself. I feel like I should be able to go on for like hours and hours. Was going on for like 5 hours the other day. Those Earthworm Jim streams did go a lot quicker than I thought they would. Did not think you beat the games that quickly. I know my younger self could not. Yeah, let's put in some shading hatching here. And show the difference in the viewing angle where the stone bends. I'm not sure how well I'm going to be able to do that ToonTuber stuff for the stream. One of the programs for it is not around anymore, so I'm not sure how compatible it is with the streaming program now. But I'll try to get it done. It would be nice to have a little cartoon Edward commentating on the side of the streams, like showing him actually emote and stuff, depending on how I say things. I have thought of a VTuber thing before, but I don't know how to make those models, and at the same time, it doesn't give as much of the cartoony effect as I'd want it to. It's more of like an actual object it's emulating as opposed to a cartoon that's like 2D and stuff. Okay, that looks good enough. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. You get the little cracks in the statue up here to emphasize its statueness. Little textures here and there. Then this, I might just shade all, like make all of this underside of the statue black on the computer, but for there, I'll just put those lines to show shading. Now the lip of this. There we go. Another little speck up there. And I think that is all that I'm gonna really do for now, I think. It's getting pretty hungry here. And yeah, I do thank you all for joining me, and hope it hasn't been too unpleasant sitting through all of this as I go about my usual pausing to write in the words and stuff. Yeah, we are, I think, pretty much done here. Ow. Getting up. Here's a little Goku on his Kinto-un, or flying nimbus. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And yeah, I think I'll probably be putting this up tomorrow. The page, once it's done. Obviously not right now. But, you guys have a good night. I'll see y'all later.